Welcome to the Legendary Zoltan's Top 10 RPGs that contain an epic grind. I'm talking about RPGs where fighting monsters over and over and over again feels the most rewarding. To me, there are a variety of reasons leveling up might feel so good. I'll tell you what those reasons are as we proceed through the list. Number 10, Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This game is going to be a hardcore turnoff to anyone expecting to be eased into difficulty. This is an action RPG in which enemies are running back and forth at high speeds. And guess what? Your sword strikes don't push the enemy back at all. They take damage while continuing to plow right into you. So until you become as agile as a sugar plum fairy, you're going to take some hits. The epic grind starts in the very first room of the very first dungeon. As soon as you walk in, you gotta kill the first 2 insects you see over and over for like 10 minutes, or you just won't survive the cave. But it feels so good because you start with 20 hit points and 1 hit deals like 4 damage to you. So you'll be dead in 5 hits from the weakest enemy. But then you level up once and you have 30 hit points and only take 3 damage. Now you won't die until you've taken 10 hits. Go up to level 3 and you'll have 40 HP and take only 2 damage. Now it takes 20 hits to kill you. You see where I'm going with this. You will, of course, be buying equipment upgrades as you go along, so you can see how this grind becomes so addictive so quickly. The only reason I don't rate this game higher than the next game on the list is because the max level is 16, and you can reach it in less than 2 hours in the game's second dungeon. Number 9, Dragon Warrior / Dragon Quest. All of them, at least I assume they're all epic. The 2 that I remember the most fondly are Dragon Quests 1 and 8. Dragon Quest 8 had that beautiful world with the nice level 5 graphics, and it was 90% forests. Running around outside the town, fighting monsters all day and all night in-game, searching the greenery for the occasional bright red treasure chest, and saving up money for the best possible equipment while waiting for the items in my alchemy pot to finish cooking is all I wanted to do. I've never managed to finish that game in less than 120 hours because I can't not grind in it. Then there is Dragon Warrior the First, where the first quest, in quotation marks, is to simply walk to the next town. It's not even that far to the town of Garenham, but just like in Ys 3, if you don't grind on the weakest enemies in the game until at least level 3, you won't survive the walk. In Dragon Warrior, your level is what dictates what you'll do next, because there are no artificial boundaries. The only thing stopping you from waltzing right into Sharlock Castle to take on the Dragon Lord is your character's low parameters. If you could survive it, you could do it at the moment you step foot outside the castle. But the further you go from Tantagle, the harder the enemies get. So the grind in Dragon Warrior is for the purpose of becoming able to survive walking through the wilderness. That is why the best armor in the game heals you 1 point every step and protects you from damage directly from the environment. To grind in Dragon Warrior is to conquer the world, and that's why it's the 9th most epic grind. Number 8, Eternal Sonata for the PlayStation 3. This game is from Tri Crescendo, who also worked on Baten Kaitos. In this game, we have a turn-based battle system. Here's my super simple summary of how it works. When a character gets a turn, they have 3 seconds to run up and around to the backside of an enemy and start slashing away at them. Every hit stores some power which can be used to strengthen special attacks. So you can maybe get up to 12 hits with a fast character and throw a special at the end, and it would be stronger than if you had just started with the special. Or you can do things like not use a special and then have the next character add another 8 hits onto the chain and then use a heal spell, which will be very strong thanks to all that energy stored from all the hits you did. Then it's the enemy's turn, and you have to press the block button with correct timing to block all the enemy attacks. There are two things that make this grind so epic. Firstly, as you progress through the story, you get a lot of characters which all have different special moves, so that's fun to mess around with. You also gain something called party levels at set points in the story, which increase your possibilities for damage output by allowing you to do things such as perform 6 special moves at the end of your turn's 3 seconds instead of just 1. Those aren't actually directly part of the grind though. As I said, they come at certain points in the story, not with leveling up, but they keep things feeling more fresh, so I appreciate them. The more important aspect is the fact that your levels are the most significant contributor to your overall battle power by far. A lot of games like Star Ocean just require you to craft some epic weapons. Some games just require you to have the right abilities or character classes, FF9 for example. But in Eternal Sonata, you'll find a sword in a chest at around level 12 or so, and it will have 7 more attack power. But you'll gain 7 attack power in just 2 more level ups. You always get a few hundred hit points and a few points of defense, and those will grant you a couple more hits that you can afford to fail to block. You also get more speed, which means after enough level ups, all of your characters will always go first against the regular enemies of the area. If you really want to feel exactly what you're getting for your effort, just go fight the wild boar boss at the end of the very first forest without fighting any of the regular enemies along the way, and see how you had barely a chance in hell to win. Then load your save and go level up thrice. Save and fight him again, and you'll see that he's possible if you can block every attack. Now load your save once more and raise your levels thrice more, and when you fight him this time, you'll definitely win with a wide margin for unblocked attacks. That is one sweet difficulty curve. Throw in some cool Motoi Sakuraba tracks and the most beautiful dungeons ever, and you've got yourself one epic grind. Number 7, Final Fantasy XII. Either version is fine. I like the Zodiac Age on PS4 these days. FF12 does something very simple that makes the game way better than it would have been otherwise. It's the easiest thing in the whole wide world, and yet no RPGs ever do it. The music doesn't change when you enter battle. It makes the experience so much better to not have songs interrupting other songs all grind long. FF12 has the Gambit system, the greatest companion AI system ever created in video games. But if Eternal Sonata could just keep the area music playing instead of switching to the battle music every fight, it would be in the top 3. With that, I've pretty much explained what's great about the Final Fantasy XII grind. It's not the levels themselves, since I don't really feel any stronger from level to level. The license board is cool, but the main appeal of the grind is simply that you can set up the gambits to do the work for you, and then watch them take care of everything with no visual or oral interruptions. So you can just kick back and run across some fields. Number 6, Star Ocean 5. All they did was give you a million things to pour your skill points into. Star Ocean 2 on the PS1 and Xenosaga on the PS2 were also like that. But Star Ocean 5 takes it closer to the extreme. You can spend points in your massive specialty menu where you can level up your abilities to harvest materials, make items, and do all sorts of other things. You can also spend points in the even more massive roll menu, which, get this, levels up your companion's AI. Finally, somebody out there tried to do something to improve the AI, since nobody wants to copy the Gambit system, and nobody wants to make the AI good. So now we have a game where you can spend points to make your party members act more sensibly. Now, the thing about Star Ocean 5 is that that's all it has going for it. It's a very low budget game, and they didn't tell us it was gonna be low budget. So when it came out, everyone was shocked by its very short length, its lack of space travel, and all the revisiting of previous areas. And also by Fiore's outfit. Amazing. There were also disappointments with the battle system. For example, there's a combo system, but you can combo any move with itself over and over. And there is this rock, paper, scissors relationship between weak attacks, strong attacks, and blocking. But there are too many characters, and the battles move too fast for you to take advantage of it. Despite all this, I can't help but conquer this world. It's just one fairly small world, but as you go to each area and then revisit each area later, the battles give you more and more experience, skill points, and money. And there are lots of skills to level up, lots of equipment to make, and lots of shopping required to make them. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you'll enter battles and your 6 other guys will wreak havoc on the enemies for you while you stand and watch. My God, it will be beautiful. Number 5, Dragon's Crown. This is a 2D beat-em-up RPG with Diablo-style random equipment drops. The parameter increases from leveling up are great and all, but the skill points that you earn and the fact that you can wear better equipment at higher levels is the real appeal. The loop this game has you playing is the addictive thing about it. Your equipment degrades and your usable item supplies deplete as you complete stages. When you return to town, you can level up, equip your newly found armor and weapons, repair your current ones, and replenish your potions. But the more stages you complete without returning to town, the more experience and gold you receive per stage, and the higher your chances to find S-rank equipment in chests. So the first time you go out, you might only be able to handle 2 stages, and you'll get 2 stages worth of experience and gold. But eventually, you'll be able to handle 8 stages, and that will give you plus 200% to experience and gold. So you will end up receiving 24 stages worth of experience and gold. Insane, right? Good luck trying to go to bed at a normal time, because there's no way you'll want to interrupt a good chain of stage completion just so you can be healthy. Number 4, Rogue Galaxy. This is another action RPG. It's by Level 5. I've always said that Rogue Galaxy is the game that advertises on the back of the box, quote, infinite grinding. But upon searching for that box art on the internet, I couldn't find it. So I may have been wrong about that all this time. Maybe I'm confusing Rogue Galaxy's box with Disgaea's or something. But never fear. This game is one hell of a grind fest. Like nearly every Level 5 game, in Rogue Galaxy, you can make your own weapons. This time, it's very free. No recipes or specific items needed. You just throw in 2 swords, and out pops a better sword. Before you can put a sword into the pot, you have to win 15 battles with it. So here is how I like to grind in Rogue Galaxy. When arriving at a new planet, I look for a shop and buy 8 copies of a weapon. I fight 15 battles with each of them. Yeah, that's 120 battles, brah. I combine all 8 of them into 4 stronger swords. I fight another 15 battles with each of those. Yeah, that's another 60 battles, brah. I combine those into 2 even stronger swords. Fight another 30 battles. And finally, I combine those 2 into a sword that is so sharp that it can slice through materials that are harder than Captain Crunch. The only downside is that while the character level cap is 99, the highest level weapon you can make is 48. I usually reach level 48 before the halfway point. Lame! Number 3, Star Ocean 4, The Last Hope. They call it The Last Hope but they should have called it completely freaking hopeless. This game accesses the deepest psychological addiction mechanics in your subconscious mind to turn you into a completely freaking hopeless grind addict. It does so by having you level up multiple things at once. Your character levels increase, of course. You can get lots of money, which always feels good in games that have lots of things worth buying. You get skill points, which you use to level up your abilities individually. You level up your freaking fighting style independent of your character, and that grants you parameter and ability buffs. And you obtain battle trophies. Each character has 100 battle trophies, and any character that has unlocked 50% or more battle trophies has their level cap raised 55 levels. As if having a list of 100 tasks per character wasn't going to drive you deep into completionist OCD heaven, there is a bonus board. This bonus board is one hell of a motivator. Depending on actions you take in battle, you can set up your bonuses, your bonus board, to give you up to plus 140% experience points, or plus 140% gold, or plus 14% HP MP restoration. Oh, I didn't need the plus there. Or 14 skill points from every battle. Combine all this stuff with how fun the battle system is, and you'll be hard-pressed not to grind. Just don't go for 100% battle trophy completion. That is a 500-hour grind, yo. Number 2, Valkyrie Profile 2. I forgot to mention that in Star Ocean 4, grinding is not required to beat the bosses, and that's true from Valkyrie Profile 2 as well. But these games give you reasons to want to do it. Lots of gauges to max out, lots of lists to check off, and lots of characters to do it all with. Valkyrie Profile 2 has some craziness going on. Yes, you gain levels with experience points. Yes, you have abilities dependent on your equipment, and you can learn those abilities permanently by fighting enough battles, like in FF9. Yes, there are lots of things to buy. Yes, you can recruit up to 20 Einherjar. But this game has some more unique features on top of these ones. This game has a body part system. Depending on the type and angle of your attack, you can deal damage to the enemy's arm, or leg, or head, or tail, or shield, or whatever. And if you deal enough damage, you can break it off. And you have a percentage chance to receive broken off parts as items. Then you take those items to a shop and sell them to the shopkeeper, and they can use them to make stronger equipment. So depending on how badly you want to make certain items, you might find yourself on a personal quest to tear every enemy in the game limb from limb. You can also equip some broken body parts as accessories, further incentivizing you to become an insatiable destroyer. Then there are the crystals. In Valkyrie Profile 2, you can launch enemies into the air, and every hit you land on the airborne enemy will produce a crystal. At the end of the battle, you will receive plus 5% experience for every crystal produced, up to a maximum of 80 crystals, for a total of plus 400% experience points. Pretty crazy, right? Well, it gets better. All those crystals, they go into your inventory, and you can use all the crystals you've saved up to buy a seal stone. Seal stones are magic orbs that you can carry to have them affect your party, or place on a dais, I think it's pronounced dais, in a dungeon to affect the enemies. A cheap seal stone would be the Poison Pin Blessing, which only costs 300 crystals. And if you carry it, All of your sword strikes will have a chance to inflict poison on enemies. The most expensive would be the Sheathed Power Wrath. If you put it on a dais, all the enemies in that part of the dungeon will deal 75% less damage to you. Amazing, right? The price is amazing too. 30,000 crystals. So if you want to get all the craziest seal stones, there's a few hundred hours you can add to your playtime just like that. The more items you buy in shops, the more items the merchant will have for sale. So there's a good reason to grind gold. The better equipment you give your Einherjar, the more parting gifts they will give you when you send them to Valhalla. To the point that if you wait until the end of the game and give them the best possible equipment, they will give you a stack of 99 permanent stat increasing items. Freaking insane. And here we are, the #1 most epic grind. This is the most epic grind, in my opinion, because it's the longest. And you can tell as you play the game more and more how long you could really spend becoming powerful in this game. I'm talking about White Knight Chronicles 2 for the PlayStation 3. This game has a bit of an advantage because it is actually an MMORPG gone single player. Everything about this game tells you to keep grinding. The maximum character level is 80, but then you can reincarnate. Reincarnation reverts you back to level 40 with the same stats you had at level 40, but with a bonus 40 skill points which you can use in the skill trees to unlock abilities. Once you level up to 80 again, you reincarnate again, and again, and again, for a total of 4 times. In the end, you only gain 80 levels of HP and strength and stuff, but you've gained 160 extra skill points. Not bad, but we're just getting started. Every area has a number of guild quests you can do. These were once the quests you played cooperatively with other players online, but they've been balanced for single player as well. There are 75 total, and they all give you lots of the many different currency types in the game. You are graded on how well you complete each quest with a D, C, B, A, or S. Ain't no way you will ever be satisfied until all of the quests have a letter S next to their name. Once you reach the level cap and do all of the reincarnations, all you can do is get better equipment to help you S-rank difficult quests. And the equipment improving game is endless. You need items dropped by You need items dropped by enemies, harvested from the environment, and awarded by completing quests to make better equipment. I don't know how many armor pieces and weapons there are in the game, but it must be insane because there is a trophy for making 800 pieces of equipment. When does the grinding end, you might ask? You can level up to 80 and then reincarnate 4 times. Okay, I've done that. You can S-rank all available quests. Okay, I've done that. You can build a city. What? An entirely separate thing that you can level up is your own town. The more difficult quests you do, the more useful structures you can build in your town with the item drops. Then you can go cruising through all the towns that are canonical to the story and ask people to drop everything they've got going in their current home and come live in your city. The more useful structures you have in your town, the more useful the people that will come to live there. And the more useful structures and people results in more useful items that you can harvest in your town and buy at your shops. And these items will increase the speed at which you can get that next equipment upgrade. Are all MMOs like this? Because this is goddamn insane. Getting back to the question of when does the grind end? It ends when you reach the highest guild rank, rank 30. With each guild rank comes additional guild quests. but it's set up so that even after you have S-ranked every quest, you still need a lot of guild points to unlock the next rank. So this is a breakdown of what your grind actually will look like. You go on a quest, try to S-rank it by clearing it as fast as possible. Take all the items and gold and use them to upgrade your town. Then go to your town and harvest everything you can. Repeat until you have everything you need for an equipment upgrade. Now you can clear quests faster, and that will make the grind more efficient. Repeat until you unlock the next guild rank, where you can work on some brand new quests until you learn how to S-rank them all. Repeat until guild rank 30. Now that the game is offline, the grind to guild rank 30 takes 1,000 hours. Those are my favorite epic grinds. Suggest some grindy-ass games that you like in the comment section. I hope you had fun watching this video. This has been the Legendary Zoltan.